The United States hit Venezuela with a large-scale strike early Saturday and said its president, Nicolas Maduro, had been captured and flown out of the country. Here's what to know. Multiple explosions and low-flying aircraft were seen in Caracas in the early hours of Saturday morning. Maduro's government immediately accused the US of an imperialist attack on civilian and military installations. US President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social that Maduro had been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. He added that the operation was done in conjunction with US law enforcement. The apparent attack itself lasted less than 30 minutes. Trump said in his social media post that the strike was carried out successfully. It comes after the Trump administration.
Hello, my people. Today we are looking at what all these African leaders that are oppressing their people, the lesson they're going to learn from Trump going into Venezuela to take out Maduro. Because you might say, like, some people might disagree and say this method, this approach is not the right approach. But we're going to come back to that, whether it's right or wrong. I'm just gonna, for now, for the meantime, focus on those African leaders that are hell-bent in oppressing their people. You know what I mean? Because they have power over their people. And what's happened in Venezuela shows that even if you oppress your people, which I'm not gonna say whether Maduro is oppressing his people or not, but let's look at the scenario if he's oppressing his people because he has absolute power as the president of Venezuela. Like some of African leaders have absolute power in their country, and they forget that all the African countries, no matter which country you point out, those names, or those, even most cases, the boundaries of Africa, is a creation of external power. It's the colonial masters that give Africa those names, and even in most cases give them boundaries. But these leaders that are in these small African countries, they think like the country belongs to them. They brought this country into existence, but they're not. It's external power. Is the colonial master that brought most of African countries and even give names, lots of names to these countries. And you are in somebody's created zone or country, and they are oppressing your own people. Like the first lesson we're gonna learn, they should learn with Maduro, is that nobody, even his so-called supporters or friends, have they don't like him, because what it shows that, look, somebody came to your country and took your friends, and he couldn't even do anything. Couldn't even fart, just fart alone. At least if you so much love somebody, you should have a fight for the person. But no one fought for him. Nobody fought for him. He's not people that support him doesn't think is worth for somebody to spare his blood for him. That's another lesson. The lesson these African leaders should learn, because you think that those sycophants around you have they love you. They don't. If Trump comes for you, no one will shoot any gun. You won't hear any gunshot. He's just gonna take you out. That's what it is. So why can't you make sure that if you're a leader of any country, that your people love you? They love you to the extent they can fight for you, not for external power to take you. Not like in most cases they can prevent them from, but they can actually put up resistance. Even Saddam Hussein, when US invaded Iraq, his people fought for him. Like people that love him, they fought. They fought until the end for him. But in Venezuela, no one fought for this guy. You know what I mean? The same thing will happen some of these corrupt African countries. If your people, these psychophants around you, you think they're gonna fight for, they will not fight for you. They'll be moved and you'll be taken out. You know what I mean? So let's circle back to the issue of whether this is right or wrong. No matter which way you swing it, You might say this is not the best method if you don't like somebody or somebody is oppressing his people. You don't. You might think, look, even if he's oppressing his people, another country, great country, doesn't have right to come and take the leader by night. So I think if you're an upright person, have conscience, that some people don't have conscience, their conscience is dead, you will say like what they did is not good. Even without, mentioning laws, because we know that people, some people, they make laws, but they think that these laws it's not for them. They make laws for other countries or other people. They think that the law doesn't apply to them. So I think because going to take somebody is just a humiliation. Venezuela is 30 million people there. You just humiliated the whole country just because you bring charges to a sitting president of the country. Even if the person is corrupt and is oppressing his people, the only reason why you think you can do that is because you feel like they are small, they can't put up with it. Because let's say the Chinese, they're oppressing their people, which some people claim they're oppressing their people. You know what I mean? Can America go to China and take out the leaders just because they're oppressing their people? They have been doing election, and this man is still, they still have a Xi Jinping at the helm of their affairs there. But America cannot go to China and do the same, because if they go, they lose a lot of men. Unlike, but they think Venezuela, they can go there and intimidate them, no, don't lose any man and go there. And they succeeded in doing that. But the thing is, like, even if you take them out, it's not easy in this kind of scenario to maintain political stability in that country, because we see what's happening in other countries where this kind of intervention happen, and we see how it ends. You know what I mean? It doesn't end well. And Trump is saying he's gonna run the country. How can you run a country? You're already running your own country. So this is, you took their leader and you want to insult them as well. It's not good. It's not good. There's a lot of way you can go about this and take out this man. You can sponsor an opposition, but even sponsoring an opposition, maybe they've tried it and they failed. That's why they think this is the only alternative they have. But even sponsoring opposition to take out the leader the West doesn't like, it's not good as well, because when you sponsor this opposition, they get in power. You held them hostage because you are the one that's sponsoring them. So there's no way you swing it is gonna help. You know what I mean? Another thing is that even those bad leaders in Africa, sometimes you might think you think like Trump or some power like Trump can come and take you out, but there's another power can take you out. God can take you out and they are dead. And their people will rejoice. You don't want your people to rejoice when you pass away. You want them to mourn when you pass away, because they're mourning that you're a good person, they are losing you. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching. Peace.